Hi everyone, I am so excited to bring you my first ever open invite to my Craft It 3 Ways series. Just a quick reminder before I get started, make sure you check out the description box below, and there you will find the playlist of all the people who participated in this challenge, and you will find so many more inspirational DIYs down there, so make sure you go check it out. And I will also link Casey's channel from Coffee with My Sunshine. She is my co-host. I will link her channel below and all that good stuff. So here we go. I will be using a Dollar Tree mop head today. Yes, a Dollar Tree mop head. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome back to my channel According to Kat. If you are new here, please introduce yourself in the comments below. If you're returning, just say hi. And what are we going to be making today? If you'd like to know what supplies I've used, please check out the description box below. And remember, use what you have, be creative, craft your stash. This video will be waiting here for you when we are ready to go out safely. You can go out, buy your items, and revisit this video. So let's get right into it. All right, DIY number 1, Macrame Leaf. So the first thing I did was I took this cotton mop head from the Dollar Tree, and yes, all 3 of these crafts use that one mop head. So cool, right? So I at first thought I was going to cut off that plastic part, and then I realized it was much easier just to pull them out. So after the first or 2 strings, the rest came out super easy. And I just put this plastic piece to the side, and I'm just trying to show you here how long they are. Each string is about 20 inches long, folded in half. It's about 10 inches, something like that. And this is the perfect size for everything we need. So I'm just layering them all up, and I'm going to cut them in half. This is for the actual leaf, and you will need 20 pieces for the leaf part and that 1 piece for the center, so 21 in total. So I just made a knot at the top, and I'm just going to lay that down and put a little piece of tape on it so it stays put. And I take my first string. Now this is half of the string, so it's about 8 to 10 inches, and I am going to lay it underneath. The next piece I lay on top. I will push in the ends and then just get you a little closer and pull tight, and then I just slide it up, and I will show you again. Now I'm going to go in from the other side, put the 1 piece underneath, just loop it underneath, other piece right on top. I take the 2 ends and I put it through each of those loops. Watch this. I put it through, take the other end, put it up and through, and pull the knot. And yes, there are names for each of these knots. However, I am not a macrame pro, and yeah, I don't want to mess them up, so I'm just not going to say them. So if you know them, please tell me in the comments below. Again, I'm going to be doing the same thing. I just started my loop on the other side, so I'll start it on the left, then I start on the right, then I start on the left, and I start on the right, and you'll see that as I go down. I just pull them through and tighten. It's easier to watch it than to explain it, so that's why I kind of showed you this in length. You will need 10 rows, 20 strings in all for the leaf part. Again, just put that through, take the next 2 pieces and put that through. And the reason I alternate which direction I'm putting the bottom piece is because it will change the effect of the knots in the middle. And I kind of liked that look. I watched a few videos of different types of leaves, and I liked this one the best, so that's the one I am emulating. So again, just pull those and just slide it on up. Almost there. Okay, so now I'm going in from the other direction. Put the next one on top and slide those two end pieces through those hoops or loops and then just pull and slide. And every once in a while I just, tightened and flattened and moved around and just froofed it up. Okay, so again, I'm going in from the left this time underneath. I will go on top and just pull those end strings through those loops, tightened, and then slid. Okay, now I'm going to go in from the right side over to the left. Again, putting the one on top and just pushing those ends through the loop and sliding up. I made a mistake, I think once, and I realized it as I was pulling the knot. You will notice the difference in the pattern, and I just undid the knot and made it the correct way. Again, you can do it that all of your knots are starting from the left side, and then the right piece will always be on the top, but the knots will just look different. It's still fine. It still will look so pretty. But I just wanted my knot formation to look like this. So I chose this technique. And I'm now just taking the bottom two pieces after I had all 10 rows, 20 in all, and I will tie a knot at the bottom. And this is what it looks like. And you can pick which side you want as your front. So I just want to take a moment and talk about my good friend Casey from Coffee with My Sunshine. I was so excited when she said yes to co-hosting with me. If you have not checked out her channel, make sure you do. She has some crazy painting skills. Her techniques are absolutely amazing. I love her and her channel. So if you're new here, my name is Kat from According to Kat, and I like to do DIYs on a budget using Dollar Tree products, thrift store products, uplifts, all that good stuff. So if you like that type of video, make sure you stick around. I upload every week. Okay, back to the DIY. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm taking this string from the Dollar Tree and I'm just putting a little piece of tape on the end so that it will be easier to put the beads on this string. And I will just take this large tub of beads from Walmart for $9.99, and I'm going to pick 3 to string on that I think look good together. Make sure you put a knot at the one end or they will all fall off. And then once those 3 are on, I will put a knot at the top so that they stay put. I will go back and put more beads on the leaf when I am towards the end, but right now I started with 3 and I'm just going to put these away real quick, and then I'm going to get my leaf ready to comb out. So I'm trying to pick which side I want as my front, and I choose that side. All right, so I love how those knots look, and this is what it's going to look like once the beads are on, but I'm not going to put those on yet because I need to comb it out. So what I did was just taped it down again. And before I comb it out, I want to unravel all of these strings. Watch how I'm doing this. I'm just taking it and like unraveling it, and there's like 3 or 4 pieces on each of those strings, and I am just going right down the side and just pulling those apart so it's easier to comb. And with the magic of TV, there we go. We are all done pulling those strings apart, and now it is time to comb. So I took this Dollar Tree comb. You get a whole bunch in a pack, and I am just brushing it out, and you can see all of those fibers just sticking to the comb. Every so often I just stopped and pulled them off. I actually really enjoyed this process right here. I don't know why. It was oddly satisfying, and I just kind of just ran my comb along, again, just pulling off all those extra fibers that came off, and it just gets so fluffy and soft. I just loved the look of this when I am done combing it out. So I'm doing the bottom, going along the side. I just make sure I hold the center as I'm combing so that none of those knots get too loose. And you can see there's just some extra fuzz all around that leaf, and that's okay. It's so I'm even satisfied watching it. not even doing it, just watching it. It's all good. This was a really fun project. I absolutely loved doing it and I loved the outcome. So yeah. So now I'm taking my very sharp scissors and I am just going around doing the formation I would say a leaf is in. Again, if you want to be like, have like a template underneath, that's fine. I wanted it more organic. And so I just cut away and I will then do the other side to kind of match the right side. And I did get a little thin at one point. I cut a little too much off, but I was okay with it because I was putting it on a wood platter. So I needed it to be a little skinnier, but again, you can make this as fat or thin as you want. You don't even need to comb it out. If you liked it when you were just pulling those strings apart with your fingers, you could keep it like that. This is your project. You do it how you want and how you would like it to look. So again, I'm just shaping it on what looks good to my eye. I will now shake it out and fluff it up. And right here, I'm just, again, making it kind of even on both sides. And this was so fun to do. Just kind of kept pulling it out with my fingers, combing it through with my fingers and making sure that there are no long pieces. And just kind of, fixing it up here and there. Now this is a piece of wood I found with my family. We were on a trail at our local park one day and I saw this and I was like, this is the piece of wood that I need. This is perfect for what I want. So I picked it right up. It almost looked like driftwood. It was really weird. So now I realized I wanted some beads on the other side of the leaf. So I used that same string because it was long enough. And I just, again, put the knot right there after I strung it on and it is ready to go. And then I just wrapped that around the back of the leaf. And I liked that I didn't make it permanent. So I can just kind of hang it on. And if I want it to come off and do something different, I could. So I got this platter. It's a wood platter and I got it. I don't think I got it at a thrift sale. I think I got it at a yard sale and I got it for 50 cents. So yeah, you can't beat that. And this platter is adorable. So I just took that stick, put it where I wanted it, took a little hot glue and adhered that stick right to that tray. And I didn't want to use any permanent glue because I really like this tray and I might want to use it at another time. And I can easily just remove this leaf and hang it on the wall, instead of taking this tray and leaning it up against the wall while being on the table. And here is my finished project and I absolutely love it. So let's take a look on how it looks. I hope you like it. Okay, DIY number 2, braided wreath. So the first thing I did was I took this Dollar Tree wreath form and it's the wired one and I only wanted 3 rings. So I am just cutting off that 4th ring with these pliers and I will tell you I saved that extra ring to use in a future DIY. So I took this Krylon spray paint I got on clearance at Joann Fabrics a while ago. It is gold metallic and I took it out to my garage and gave it a good coat. And I just wanted it because you are going to see it a little bit through these strings and I just wanted it to have a better look than that black. So that's why I did that. So the first thing I did was I took one of those mop head strings. Yes, the mop head is back again. And I am just hot gluing it to itself. So I'm going to take that string and just weave it in and out of those rungs. Now, the best way for me to describe this is every time I always looked at the middle ring. When it was under, the next time I'm going to go through it, it's going to be over, then it will go under that middle one and then over that middle one. So that was always letting me know if I was on the right path. And if I goofed up, I would notice it right away based on that middle ring. This was very easy after you just got the hang of it. And it was, I didn't really even have to think about it. I just kept doing it. My mind was on other things. I played some music. It did take me less than an hour. The only thing that was time consuming was just gluing on the next string, but that was okay because if the string's too long, it's so hard to weave in and out. This made it easier that they were shorter and more manageable. So I didn't mind they were in pieces. Again, you can see what I'm doing. I'm just weaving in and out, under, over, swing it around. And I went around the entire frame. Once I got to the end, I am just going to turn it over, cut it, and then just hot glue that to the strings right in the back. And then I just kind of went around and pushed those strings over with my fingers, making sure there's no big spaces, and I just love it. So next I'm going to take this Hobby Lobby garland, and it is the lamb's ear garland for $19.99, and then you get the coupon off, and it just lasts you forever. And I just love to cut pieces off and use them in my wreaths. And this is a lavender bush. It's taller than the normal lavender from Walmart. This is so pretty. I love this so much. It had a very farmhouse earthy look to it. And yeah, I just loved it. So I just cut off some pieces and I just loved the leaves of it. Just so pretty. And it was exactly what I was looking for. I had a really hard time with the wreath because I had an idea and the idea just failed. My idea was to braid those strings and then wrap it around that way. And no, it was not having it. It was not working out. It was like the epic fail of all fails. And I thought, what am I going to do? This was my idea. And I haven't seen this done before. So I just kind of made it up and I just tried some different things. And in the end, I'm so happy the way it turned out. So yeah, I'm so glad it failed my first attempt because I came up with something that I love so much more. So yeah, this just turned out better than I expected, especially using a mop head. Those mop heads are amazing. And if you cannot find one at the Dollar Tree, go over. They have them anywhere. You can get them at Home Depot. You can get them at Walmart, wherever. Mop heads are not expensive. So yeah, you could pick those up anywhere. So now I'm just taking this leftover piece of ribbon and I'm putting it right on top of this other ribbon. And yeah, was that really a dumb idea or what? Why would I hot glue it on there? Did I not see there's holes? Oh goodness. I do go back and I scrape it off with my fingernail. And I liked the two ribbons together just because I thought it gave it an extra texture. And that's all. I just hot glued it to itself. I didn't want to, again, make it permanent. So I'm just hot gluing it because I know I can just rip that off. So I'm attaching it to this ladder type thing. I got it from a yard sale for $1. It's actually shelving from a pantry and I just thought it looked so cool on that. So I love the way this turned out as well. Let's take a look. And here we are at DIY number 3, wrapped can with lid. Lastly, I take that same cotton mop head and there are a few pieces left and I am going to use it to wrap around this can. So I take my adhesive spray, and the reason I did this is because I know that when you use hot glue with string, you can actually see it through the string most of the time. So I wanted to try something different other than Mod Podge. So I'm trying this adhesive spray and I'm going to tell you right now, it worked wonderfully. it stuck on beautifully. I didn't have any problems. I got no strings through it. You can't see the hot glue. It worked out perfectly. So the only time I used hot glue was the last string at the top and the last string at the bottom, because I do go down and put another row down at the bottom, and that was it. I used the spray for the rest of it, and it just worked out so well. Now, I first started off cutting these in half because I wanted all of the ends to meet up in one row, and I'll show you why in a minute. But then I realized that was really dumb, so I could just keep wrapping it around, and then once I got back to that same place, that's where I'll cut it. So I didn't have to have more than, like, one piece could last 2 times around, so I didn't need as many cuts. And then I just matched it up and just brought it around 2 times and brought it back to the same point. And I will just take my scissors and cut that straight down, and you'll see here I'm going to keep going, but I wanted to show you what I was talking about and how I'm going to cut it. Now I will take my next piece and start at that same point. So I'm always starting and ending at the same point, so there will only be one seam. And I'm just going to cut off that extra. I am now squishing all of those strings together so I can fit another one at the top so it looks nice and clean. And this is where I brought my hot glue in. So I sprayed the top, but I wanted to make sure it was pushed down right against the edge of the can. This is where I brought my hot glue and just kind of stuck it in those little crevices and put the tiniest bit just to hold it in place. And again, I am just cutting off right at that seam so that one seam goes straight down. And I'm just adding a little more hot glue here and just smoothing it out with my fingers. Make sure, use that Vaseline. It always helps with your glue, any type of glue, from making it difficult for you to get the lid off or get the glue started or whatever. It doesn't harden. So now I'm just taking my sharp scissors again and just cutting right down that seam. There's the lid. I'll show you what I'm going to do with that in a moment. So I got this from burlapfabric.com. They sent this to me. It is like 25 yards of this ribbon. It's like a jute ribbon and I love it. So I take it and put it right down that seam, and I need 2 of them because the seam's a little thick and that ribbon's thin. So I'm going to cut that and then put another stream of hot glue right next to it and put one more piece of that jute ribbon right down, or burlap ribbon. I should call it burlap ribbon. And right there next to it. And just press it down with my fingers, and I'm going to cut off the excess, and then I'm just going to hot glue that right down inside that can. Now, some people ask me, how do you get your cans not to be sharp? You have to make sure you're using the right kind of can opener. It has to be the one that you cut from the top. So you're not cutting from the side of the can, you're cutting the lip of the top of the can so there's no sharp edges. So yeah, so make sure you have the right can opener. And then I took these buttons. These are from the Dollar Tree. You get a whole bunch of them. And I found these wooden ones inside. Look at my fingers from the glue and the fuzz of the mop head. That's so bad. You know, sometimes I see these DIYers and they have such pretty nails and they're all manicured. And then I look at my videos and I'm like, I don't know. It's all good, right? It's real life. This is who I am. This is who I am. This is just who I am. Okay, now I'm just hot gluing those buttons right on. And right there, I just did 3 in a row. And I just thought they added a really cute touch. And there you go. So the next thing I am going to do is work on the lid. So I first started with a little piece of tape in the middle because I didn't want to get too much glue in the middle because that's where I'm going to glue it. And sometimes when you have paint and glue, they don't mix very well. So I am taking my Waverly Chalk Paint in Truffle, and then you see that little dot didn't do too well. So I just kind of went around it the best I could. And I gave this lid can a good coat. And then once that dried, I went back with this hazelnut from Waverly
and I just did a dry brushing on it. And yeah, I love how that looked with the ribbon that went down it, like that burlap ribbon. I just thought that those two colors looked great together. And now I'm just, you know, smoothing it out. And then I'm looking at the wooden knobs I have, and I'm seeing which ones I like the best. And it's like, no, no, no. Yes, we like this one. So I took my Fix-All adhesive from the Dollar Tree, and I love this glue. It reminds me of E6000 at a very good cost. And I put that right on there, and I left it overnight. I didn't touch it because that takes a while to set up. And I just wanted something on the side of that can, and so I thought this would enhance it really nice. I took this terracotta pot, and I'm taking that same Waverly Chalk Paint in Hazelnut and giving it a good dry brush. Then I take the Waverly Chalk Paint in white, and I'm giving it a good dry brush on top of that. And I just love the technique on there, and my idea was just to turn it on its side with some of this greenery from Hobby Lobby. I love buying the garlands. You get more bang for your buck with them, and I just put that right inside, and I just thought this looked so cute with the can. I just thought they made a really cute little couple. And this was just a little easy DIY right on the side using that same mop head. So let's take a look. And here we are at the final reveal, my favorite part of the video. So let's take a recap of all of the DIYs I just did. The first one was this Macrame Leaf. Oh, do I love this? Yes, I love this. Very boho, but it just looks so pretty in my house on that little wood table. This makes me so happy, and I loved how that stick looks on that wooden tray. I just loved this whole thing. The next thing I did was that wreath, and you know what? This was that fail I told you about, and then it just turned out so beautiful in the end, and I was so pleased with it. So this one makes me really happy, and I loved it right on that shelving. I just thought that looked so cool together. Yeah, I absolutely love this one. And then let's not forget our last piece, which was the can wrapped with that same mop head and that seam down the middle of it with those buttons. So cute. But if I had to pick a favorite, I'm going to go with the Macrame Leaf. That was the whole inspiration for this entire Craft It 3 Ways idea, and I love it. So tell me below which one's your favorite. Don't forget to check out the playlist below. Everyone that is joining us on this collab, make sure you go check them out, and make sure you check out my friend Casey and her channel Coffee with My Sunshine. Thanks everyone.
So that's it, that's the end of my video. I hope you liked everything you saw today, and I hope it inspires you to make something of your own. If you've not checked me out at Instagram over at Catluna Designs, please do so. Give this video a thumbs up, it really helps my channel. Make sure you subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching. Bye! If you'd like to know what supplies I've used, please check out this video will be here waiting for you if and when, not if, that's bad. So that's it, that's the end of my video. For how it goes. Why do I keep forgetting? So that's it, oh, hold on. If you've not yet subscribed, what,